What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to today's Clash of Clans video. We are going to be breaking down my two recent war attacks. Now, the first one here worked very nicely, managed to get the 12v12 triple, and in the second one, the opening part of the attack worked just as planned, and we just fell short at the end. I managed to get the 80% 2-star, not what I wanted, but I'll show you where I think it fell apart. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for all of my videos, but let's get into this first attack. Now, the first thing I noticed on this base was that there were 3 multi-infernos. So what I was thinking is that lava loon, which was my initial thought on this, we always used to attack these ring style bases with lava loon, would be a little bit more tricky. And recently I have had good success with the miners versus the multi-inferno, so long as you can set that funnel correctly. So I was thinking the queen charge, that is typically how I will attack with the miners, and it was basically which air sweeper do I come from behind. We have one at either side. I'm not going to attack into that, I'm going to attack behind it, and clearly the one next to the archer queen with the potential of getting the eagle artillery as well was the angle I was going to come in from. Now, initially I was thinking of using wall breakers, in order to attack here and here, and potentially sending the battle blimp into the right hand side of the base to try and snipe off these splash damage defenses. But the more I thought about it, it was just easier to bring the wall wrecker in to help that queen charge and ensure that she got all of this area down exactly what I wanted. So the funnel itself for that is very simple. I'm going to use a minion, I believe it was, down here, or a baby dragon actually, and a baby dragon on this side, with the queen easily able to funnel into this area. I decided to take a P.E.K.K.A. in the clan castle because that can be surprisingly good to just one-shot that archer queen, especially if there's splash damage around, which can be difficult on your bowlers. The king was then set to come in this side, with me then targeting the eagle artillery directly with the miners. That is enough explaining. Let's get into the attack basically and show you how it went. So the funnel needs to be created first. Now, anytime you have an army camp, that is ideal to set the funnel because it's a wide building and it's easy to take out. The baby dragon takes down 2 buildings at the bottom here, so that's perfect. I know now, as long as I get this wall wrecker into this area quick enough, that the archer queen is going to go into that base. There's nowhere else for it to go. Now, the only attack prior to this was a bow witch style attack, so I send in a couple of balloons just to check. There's a very high possibility of some black air bombs over there, which could do major damage to my healers, so I send them balloons in just to check, and they end up doing a good job in terms of taking down defenses anyway. The queen is nicely situated there with the Grand Warden, couldn't think of the name there, and the P.E.K.K.A. is now doing a beautiful job taking out that queen. It actually stalls the dragon in the CC and the balloon long enough there that the poison does massive effect, and the queen gets the eagle artillery exactly as planned. Here comes the king with the wizards. Now, I've basically missed the funnel here, and the king is going to walk down the side, but honestly, the queen has got more value than I expected, especially getting that eagle and the town hall, so I'm not really fussed about it. And actually, it does me a favor that the king takes out the trash buildings on the outside, because it means the miners can concentrate on the defenses now in the middle, and that is basically what you want to do with the miners. You want them spread out enough that they are efficient, so basically they're taking down buildings, next to each other. They're not just taking down one building, they're taking out them in effect, whereby there's just enough miners to take down the building. So you have a nice sweep here moving through. You can see the defenses are going down very quickly, but they're not all clumped on the same building and essentially losing time being inefficient. Now, the Grand Warden and the Queen merging in with the miners is fantastic. If ever you can do that, I would definitely recommend it, but it does depend on where you are within the base. Had the Queen have walked up this opposite side, it equally would have worked on this one, because there's not too much point defense in any one area. The miners coming right through, I used the heal spells heavy on because there was a lot of giant bombs down to the south. You can see the remnants of them down there, but I knew I had to save one for close to this area area with the multi and the wizard tower. So I saved the one just to get them through that multi-inferno, and you are probably better off using the spells earlier rather than later, but it's basically just predicting the base and where you think they will run into. There's no point in me using all of the heal and then having nothing for the back end in order to help the miners. Coming down to it, I have more than enough miners. The archers from the Queen's ability do a fantastic job as well, just helping with time because I was running a little bit short, but basically getting the 3 there was something I was very happy about. Now, if you are interested in joining Red Elite, we are recruiting max Town Hall 12 players. The Discord link for Red Elite is in my Discord. If you enjoy these styles of videos, be sure to leave a like to let me know. And this was the second base that I attacked. As you can see, the 80% 2-star. Now, how would you guys go about this base? I first looked at it and thought potentially the lava loon if I brought a kill squad in from around about 10 o'clock, getting the town hall there, multi-inferno, potentially jumping through with a big kill squad to try and get a second inferno, the queen and the CC. But there's a lot of point defense here, and I was worried that basically my kill squad would fizzle out and I wouldn't be able to get the value that I wanted. I then noticed the air defense on the right hand side here are very vulnerable. Yes, the air sweepers are pointing in that direction, but how about I just sui hero that side? The base is very clumped, which then got me thinking electro dragons. Can I sweep through this base with electro dragons behind the air sweepers? My initial thoughts were to send a battle blimp into this area, take out some of the defenses and create the pathing better for the E-Drags to come up through the middle of the base from 6 to 12, but actually again there's too much splash and point defense there. I wouldn't get enough value, so what I decided was to come in with the wall wrecker from the top and try and take out not just 1 and 2 air defenses but a third, get through the sweepers, and if I was lucky get the town hall as well. But I had a backup plan for that as well. So the funnel's very easy. A baby dragon onto these buildings will create that nicely. Up the top was a little bit trickier, so I decided to bring some giants and a wizard just to help here. Then the king and queen can actually be funneled in a way that they come into the base with the wall wrecker from around about the elixir storage to break open these walls as necessary. Let's go ahead and replay it and I'll share the rest of the attack as we go. So the backup plan was basically a dragon and a bunch of balloons to be brought in towards the town hall if we didn't get it. I also brought an earthquake spell because what I thought is I can use that anywhere on this base to get massive value, but let's say we attack the town hall, we get good value on it, but we don't quite take it down. I'd be able to finish it off, and as you will see, what a clutch earthquake spell that was. So the funnel was not fantastically made here, but with the queen having that range, I knew she'd hit that gold mine and then still be bang on to come in behind the wall wrecker. I used the king before the wall wrecker, by the way, because I knew the wall wrecker would take massive damage if not, and I needed it to at least get into this little pocket here whereby the bowlers could then attack the Giga Tesla. The troops coming out of the CC are going to go down. They do freeze my bowlers and my queen as well, but I have a rage spell in there covering the bowlers because again I want to get maximum damage onto the Giga Tesla. There it goes, and as long as we get enough value, which clearly we do, we can finish that off with the earthquake spell, which I go ahead and do. Now we got 3 air defense out of that and definitely a decent push. Now it was a case of trying to funnel the E-Drags into the base itself. So I used 1 baby drag on the side here. I'd already taken these camps with a minion, just decided to pop that dragon in, which I did have for the back end, obviously didn't need that now, along with the E-Drags, then a couple of balloons to basically snipe off any defenses, get in front of the E-Drags in order to try and set off any black bombs. Now here's a couple of errors. My rage spells, and now I always do this, let me know if you guys do as well. The electro dragons, where they actually are is not where it looks like they are. So I'm that used to leading spells that I miss the E-Drags with the rage, and I did it with that first one in fact. So I think my rage spells could have been placed better. They might have got an extra shot off if I had done that. That might have been enough to get the Eagle Artillery, and I'm thinking I should have been just a bit quicker with the deployment. I tried to funnel them a little bit. Had I have just popped them all in, raged them forward, I think it would have been enough to come through this middle section, and honestly I think that would have been enough enough to take down the base. Be sure to share any thoughts on it though down in the comments section. I don't pretend to have all the answers. There's many different ways to take down a base, so make sure to share your tips. I apologize for just the short video today. Basically, I had 2 nice war attacks, wanted to share it with you, but I do normally do this sort of stuff live as well. When I do my war attacks, I attack live on stream. I'll hopefully be getting back to that, but I have been doing it very casually on Facebook, facebook.com/Judo Sloth. Any of you guys that are still here, be sure to go ahead and check that out. Subscribe to me on Facebook or follow me, whatever it is. Drop a comment down below to let me know you've done it. And until next time, peace out, guys.